It's those things that lay real deep. Those things below surface level. Those things that, if you allow your mind and your ego to glance over or leave covered up, that's what will leave the greatest impact on your life in a negative way. Or in a way that you should be able to realize and see and understand. But you don't. You see, no matter where you're at, no matter how developed you are on your path, for most of us, there will always still be something that needs to be uncovered. Something that isn't serving us, that isn't serving our people, that isn't serving the world in any way. It's our life's conquest, our soul's conquest, to alleviate these negative remembrances and negative ways of being from our physical reality, from the physical reality of the world. You see, it's up to us to take these off the burner, to take these ideas off the burner and put them in the trash, right? To get rid of them, or I'm sorry, should I say transform them into something of a greater sense. It's only us that can do that, though. Why do I talk about this? Well, here I am journaling, and I'm doing it to myself. The journaling that I'm doing for these questions, I wanted to remain surface level. I didn't want to go into what I didn't want to think about. I didn't want to work on it. I didn't want to think about it. Subconsciously, the idea popped up, and at first I decided, I said, nah, this is something more. That surface level. You can probably hear this dog down here sniffling. Books, go on, man. Go on. God knows what he's doing. He's on surface level, right? Anyways, even as far as I've come, I got a long way to go. Don't let me sound egotistical like I'll do it sometimes. Even as far as I've come, I still subconsciously have many things that I need to uncover and work through myself personally. That there's a side of me that doesn't want to do that. There's a side of me that wants to hold those things at bay, that wants to keep those buried, despite it playing into my life negatively. Because it's more painful in the short term. It's more painful in the present moment to relive and think through. But it's far more advancing for your inner self to actually work through those things in that moment, or whatever moment you have to do so. Sometimes it takes a book, right? Many times. A set of questions that opens your mind up. It may be a person, a therapist, someone to help you think through these things. It doesn't have to be a therapist. It doesn't have to be someone who's registered or whatever, gone to whatever school. Sure, those people are likely much more, most people have gone to school for it, so you hope that they're able to do so. But the truth is that we all have different levels of consciousness. We all have different abilities. We all resonate with people differently. You must find someone you can resonate with, who you can trust and be vulnerable to. But more than anything, you must be willing to do that work. You can have the best person to talk to in the world, but if you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to work through it. You're not going to make progress. You see, I pride myself in my ability to communicate with myself and journal and meditate and do the things that I do to keep my mind in check. But I still fall short sometimes too. In fact, recently I've been going through a short-term season where I've been blowing through my ego, right? My ego has put myself mentally on this pedestal that says I've healed many, many, many things. But in reality, there's still many, many, many things that I need to face right here today that will continue to surface up in ways that don't explain it, right? You must go into them. You must dig deeper. You must go below surface level. I must. But again, my natural kind of sense in one way or another says, it's okay, right? Here it is Friday night at 12 o'clock in the morning. Now it's time to face it, right? I could be out doing whatever. I could be out watching the Jake Paul fight, right? Kind of want to, but here I am. Here the time comes that I can dig deeper. I can take more time out of I can make more time for what needs to be done than I choose to. Yet even in this moment, sitting here, pulled this table to the side, done all these things to get into this, yet I still wanted to avoid it. I still wanted to remain at the surface level and not dig. How is that fair? It's not about fairness. Your mind will naturally go towards the path of least resistance. You have to consciously choose to take the harder path that is more efficient, that is more worthwhile for the long-term success and endeavor of individualism as a whole. You see, in order to heal, you must go through that strenuous process of healing. You must become one with yourself again and take yourself out of your emotional state. Or should I say, take yourself out of your reluctant state to face reality, to face something that you don't want to face necessarily. Very easy to avoid, especially the more painful it is. Or should I say, the more buried it is. But guys, nothing else is more worthwhile. Shadow work, working on the unconscious. The saying goes, Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it destiny. You will call it fate, I should say. I think the quote says. Meaning that is which is subconscious and buried from your past, that is negative or not serving. It will run your life. It will reflect into your life until you either die from it, suffer great losses from it, or face it. Scary stuff to think about, but it's not, because it's not when you take the responsibility. It's not scary to think about when you finally get through it, and you do it enough times. You make it a conscious habit to want to work through that, to be able to heal, to be able to work through your issues and be a better individual. When I say better individual, I mean someone who is more able to serve others, someone who's more able to serve your higher self. Because the higher self is always all serving. The higher self is always bringing of abundance to others and loving of our reality, loving of others, loving and caring and bringing a fruition of goodness and greatness. Goodness and greatness. So I'm going to continue to sit here. Again, let's see. 12:38, Friday night. And I'm going to continue to work through this. It's fucking cold. I like the cold, but all I have is this hoodie on. I ain't got nothing on under here, so it's kind of chilly. But I got the dogs with me. I got myself, nothing else. We're going to keep being abundant, man. I hope this helps.